Put on my clothes!
Oh, what's up everybody? Cynda here and welcome back to another episode of Cynda Talks. Let's finish this. Luigi's Mansion 2 was released for the Nintendo 3DS on March 24th, 2013 here in North America, and this was pretty revolutionary for its time. The last Luigi's Mansion game released on GameCube as a launch title in 2001, so to have a brand new Luigi's Mansion specifically made for a handheld system was kind of a shock, especially for a young me. See, I had grown up obsessed with Luigi's Mansion on GameCube. I'm sure longtime viewers are rolling their eyes, but we have to recap. I had a Wii as a youngster, but no GameCube anything. So all of these GameCube classics I desperately wanted to play, like Super Mario Sunshine, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, Super Smash Bros. Melee, I had no means to. So seeing a brand new Luigi's Mansion for a system that I had was a life-changing moment. I needed this game, and when I saw it for sale at a Walmart on vacation, I nabbed it after some, I'm sure some very dignified begging. And the rest of that vacation was spent playing this game and looking up walkthroughs for it on our condo's absolutely wretched Wi-Fi on my laptop that needed to be put down. Leading up to this game's release was a lot of fun back in the day. I have a lot of nostalgia for the old E3 2011 days of Super Mario and Mario Kart. I mean, look at this old Luigi's Mansion 2 footage. Whoa. Alright, but now that the game is in my hands, Luigi's Mansion 2, here we go! Am I paying for these extra vowels? Yes! Over here in America, Luigi's Mansion 2 was subtitled Dark Moon instead, and this angers me. Why? I don't know. But all I know is that 2 is a lot cleaner and easier to understand than Dark Moon. Is this a sequel, a prequel, a remake, the first game's equal? I have no clue why this upsets me so much, but why couldn't they just name it Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon? See, that would solve everything. Plus, just America got this blob. Everywhere else, it's just 2. None of this disgusting, unnecessary mooning. And you guys know I hate unnecessary moons. Luckily for us, justice was served with the Nintendo Switch remake, which was developed by Tantalus, a studio known for porting a lot of games, such as the HD Zelda remakes and the Switch port of Sonic Mania. They named it 2, so I'll be calling it 2. Thanks. As for the base game, it was developed by Next Level Games, known for Mario Strikers and the Punch-Out revival on Wii, and they've taken over this series as of recent, developing both Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3. And this was a great idea. Having a series as quirky as Luigi's Mansion get taken over by a studio that has a history of extremely cartoony and expressive visual styles just rules. And booting up the game here, we can already see the fruits of their labor. This opening cutscene rocks. There's just so much detail shoved into this tiny little scene. And don't worry, that sentiment does permeate throughout the entire game. The story here is pretty simple. The dastardly King Boo blows up the Dark Moon, which is a ghost evil suppressor thingy. So all the ghosts that are helping Professor Gadd turn evil and wreck everything. So it's up to Luigi to find the Dark Moon shards and unevil the ghost. Except, spoilers, King Boo kidnapped Mario again. This is such a weird, contrived plot thingy. They shove it in like 90% of the way through the game. It made sense in Luigi's Mansion 3. Here, it's just like, we're at the final level, we gotta raise the stakes, Mario is kidnapped again. Unlike the first game in the series, Luigi's Mansion 2 actually uses a world map and a level system with a, say it with me, a boot out system! And it works great for a game like Luigi's Mansion, letting the mansion change over time, allowing the game to contain multiple mansions instead of just one like the first game, and allowing new threats to show up. But there are a few times throughout the game where it feels a little too cliffhanger-y, like finding a key to an important gate or something and then having to be pulled back to Egadd's man cave can break the pacing a little bit, but it's nothing too crazy. Plus, the boot-out system allows for ranking systems and replayability and things of that sort. As is tradition, we find the Poltergust. This version is called the Poltergust 5000 and lets us use the strobe bulb attachment as well as the dark light device. The strobe bulb revolutionizes combat compared to the first game. Instead of just pointing your flashlight at a ghost, you have to hold the button to charge up a blast of light, and then start sucking up a ghost. This change is great. Back in the first game, it was so easy to accidentally ping a ghost with the flashlight from far away, but at that range, you couldn't even reach them with the poltergust, so it's nice to have more control of the flashlight, while at the same time allowing for more strategic combat gameplay since there is a delay involved with charging up the strobe bulb. Combat itself is shockingly good in this game. Back in the original, it felt like no matter how you moved the control stick, you just weren't doing it quite right. Which makes sense thematically, considering Luigi is in a haunted mansion surrounded by devious ghosts, but it's not fun from a gameplay perspective, which should always come first. In this game, if you move the control stick in the opposite direction of the ghost tug, Luigi locks the ghost in place for the most part, and starts building up a power surge to drain the ghost health even faster. The catch is that the ghost still moves around, but there's so much more polish and balance here, it's great. Plus, enemy ghosts are flinging punches at you, so there's the strategy of, do I want to risk getting hit, let the ghost go, jump with the B button, but lose my power, surge, charge? There's so many options here, and it adds such depth to the combat. The other new attachment, the dark light device, is a boost to exploration instead of combat, and I hate it. Blast a hidden object with it and reveal the illusion blobs. Suck them up and the object is unhidden. For more important things, there's usually a massive shadow indicating wherever it is. Boos return in this game, puns and all, and utilize the illusion mechanic. And it's pretty annoying to have to complete a mission and then go back, notice the tiny little missing object in the next mission and blast it with the dark light to reveal the boo. There's one boo per level, but it doesn't stop this hide and seek from being dumb and annoying, especially because there's no boo radar this time around. Boo combat is improved though. They can't phase through walls and you have to grab their tongue and fling them around the room. It's kind of funny to watch them pinball around, but it does not make up for not having a boo radar. The Dark Light continues its reign of terror with the new character, the Polter Pup, and this guy is an absolute demon, stealing keys, being obnoxious, etc., etc. So once a key is stolen and Luigi has to look around for him, the only way to see where he's been is with the Dark Light device. So it means holding the button, stopping to recharge, and then re-holding the button. It's just frustrating. Why does this need to exist? Elaborating on the exploration for a bit, treasure reappears in this game and it's used to upgrade the Poltergust's power surge and also the duration of the Dark Light device before it overheats and you can't use it again for a few seconds. This rules and gives value to treasure other than the mansion you get at the end of the game, which is not a feature in this one. Luigi is stuck with the house he starts with. Mushroom Kingdom real estate must be terrible right now. There are also collectible gems scattered across each mansion, and they're actually well hidden, so I hate them. I mean, I understand that they are good, and it is good that they are well hidden, but it's kind of annoying to hop on Bing to find half of them. But for the most part, exploration is fun. Oh wait, hold on, I need to take this, and also this one. Sorry guys. Professor Gadd equips Luigi with a Nintendo DS called the Dual Scream, and it talks more than my ex-wife did. I mean, this guy just yaps. Mission critical info, sure, but man, it feels like there's a better way to go about this than calling like 3 or 4 times throughout a 15-minute level. Luckily, you can skip most of these by just instantly hanging up on him, but it's still a tedious addition. Overall, kind of annoying, at least the ringtone is fire. As for the presentation, it's got that next level game swag. Very expressive, a lot of squash and stretch in the animation, which makes the ghosts look really kinetic and otherworldly, and makes Luigi's reactions to them all the greater. And while the art design has taken on a much, much more traditional Mario look, this kind of bums me out after the almost realistic mansion design seen in the first game. Plus, they made the lighting way brighter in this game, which is also a bummer. But I mean, this game is on the 3DS. You wouldn't be able to see anything while parasailing if they didn't make it brighter. The music is also pretty average. I don't mean that insultingly, but it's not really a compliment either. There are a few good tracks, the DS ringtone, a few themes here and there, but there's just not a lot of heaters. Now, as we approach the end of the game, I want to take a second to go a little more in depth with the mission system now that we've covered all the mechanics. Polterpup missions? Stupid. This is to be expected with any mission-heavy game. You will have some stinkers, and while most missions are perfectly fine, mostly involving collecting some key items to unlock an area, and then the next mission is exploring that area, etc., etc., There is one subset of missions that may be the worst thing game designers have ever created: the escort mission. Toads are lost in the mansions. Find them! These are just annoying. I don't even want to go in depth with these. The pathfinding AI isn't the worst thing in the world, but having to keep track of your extremely puntable ball and chain is just painful. Alright, we've battled Ghost. We've saved toads that didn't deserve to be saved. We got our keys back from Polterpup, and we completed many actually fun missions. Now it's time to face King Boo. And as a whole, this game's bosses are pretty bad. Quite a few of them are puzzle bosses, which involve a lot of annoying trial and error. There's an infinite staircase at some point. There are a few bosses that are pretty good, and King Boo's fight is probably the best in the game, given that it's a straight encounter, no frills or anything ridiculous. We save Mario and win the day, and all the ghosts are good, and Luigi decides to spend the rest of his life with a dog that made his life a living nightmare. In conclusion, Luigi's Mansion 2 is pretty solid. Not perfect by any means, but there's a lot to like here. When I was coming up with this review, I realized a lot of what this game tries to go for is just taking whatever the first game did and expanding on it, like adding meaning to treasure, giving you more options in combat as well as exploration. The first game was wildly linear, so a mission structure allows linearity to shine by giving the player a ranking system and things like that. In that regard, it's a great sequel to the first game, but if you think it's better than the first game is a different question. As of right now, I don't think so. But it's way better than 3, I'll tell you that, and 3 was good.
You really think this guy has the time machine in his possession?
I'm telling you, Past, this guy is like a magnet for situations. Everything that's happened in the past, 4 years has been directly or indirectly connected to this guy.
Look, I care about our survival just as much, if not more than you. So I don't think it's an efficient use of our time to be stalking this one guy nonstop.
I know what I'm doing.
Now that's the meaning of life. Hope you were paying attention. See you guys later. Peace.